watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted Best of Las Vegas. Give them a call, 702-727-9900.
Hello and welcome to this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry. Thanks for joining us on 8th Country Radio. And we're also streaming at KPVM.TV, and we're also on your Roku devices. It is Tuesday, July 23rd. In our top story, a Las Vegas OnlyFans content creator is arrested for reportedly forcing a child to make her video with her. Rory Rossell has this story.
A Las Vegas woman allegedly filmed herself sexually assaulting a child in an attempt, she says, to avoid blackmail. Jaden Choate faces several charges, including sexual assault against a child and lewdness against a child, among other charges, according to officials. It has been rumored that Choate is an OnlyFans content creator, and it has also been rumored that she was making this content with her son. On July 15th, officers began their investigation after a woman called 911 saying she received a video of Choate with her legs open and allegedly telling a child to sexually touch her. The caller told police that she believes the video was recorded that day. Police reviewed the video and described the woman, later identified as Choate, with a child who was performing a sex act on her, documents said. In the video, a child's voice can be heard saying, "I don't like it." Officers later responded to Choate's home and arrested her. In an interview with police, Choate denied molesting the child and other details of the video, according to documents. Choate reportedly told police that she received a random text message from a number in her phone from a man who was, according to Choate, acting like her sugar daddy. The man asked Choate to make a video of her smearing feces all over her body for $8,000. Choate made a video and sent it, later learning that the person who requested the video was her ex-boyfriend, allegedly using the video to blackmail her. Choate told police that she made the second video in fear of retaliation, documents say. During her first court appearance, Judge Rebecca Sachs denied setting bail as Choate was on probation for earlier charges of burglary and theft. A preliminary hearing is scheduled for August 1st.
And a two-vehicle accident occurs on Highway 160 in Calvada. Anthony Roberts reports.
On Monday, July 22nd, at approximately 2:40 p.m., a two-vehicle crash occurred at the intersection of Calvada Boulevard and Highway 160. According to witnesses at the scene, a black Yukon collided with a white Patriot Jeep. According to medical personnel, there were no injuries, and the southbound lane of Highway 160 was closed to traffic and was being diverted down the Calvada I during the investigation and cleanup. Nevada Highway Patrol, Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, as well as Nye County Sheriffs were on the scene.
And the Nye County Sheriff's Office issues a warning about a new scam making the rounds. Mikey Ruhand has more to protect you.
The Nye County District Attorney has received complaints regarding phone calls advising the individuals that they failed to report for jury duty and that a warrant for their arrest has been issued. They are advised to go to a local service provider that can send a $2,000 bond payment to avoid being arrested. There may be variations of the scam. The Nye County courts and the Sheriff's Office do not enforce any failure to appear through such a process. These calls appear to be coming from the Nye County Sheriff's Office and shows their phone number on the caller ID. This is a spoofed number. They are also identifying themselves as some rank of personnel from the Sheriff's Office. Neither the courts nor the Sheriff's Office accepts payments for warrants through outside electronic sources. If you receive such a phone call or email, do not provide any confidential information. Be alert to avoid identity theft and fraud.
And the presumptive nominee for president for the Democratic Party, the current Vice President Kamala Harris, makes her first campaign stop officially in Wisconsin. Meanwhile, Republican Vice Presidential candidate J.D. Vance campaigns alone for the first time since his nomination. News 25 Las Vegas correspondent Maria Centers brings us more.
Middleton, Ohio proudly welcomed home VP nominee J.D. Vance, who chose the Rust Belt city for his first solo rally that was jam-packed with a pumped-up crowd. The true definition of the American dream. Vance pledged that if elected, every U.S. citizen that works hard and plays by the rules will be guaranteed a good life. Now we all just have to get out and vote in person.
One of the coolest things about my book is I heard from a lot of Americans from all walks of life, but especially from Black Americans who would come up to me and say, our story is your story. Whether it's the drug epidemic or whether it's this epidemic of crime and violence that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris unleashed in our country, we have got a lot of grandparents, white, black, and every skin color, that are raising kids that they didn't expect to raise. And they're doing it because it's the right thing to do, and they do it because they love their communities. My message to them is simple. I will fight for you, because if it wasn't for a grandma like that, I would not be standing here today getting to run as your next vice president.
Genuine JD never ever forgets where he came from.
When I see her give a speech, and she talks about the history of this country, not with appreciation, but with condemnation. And look, of course, every country, just like every family, certainly mine, has its pockmarks, right? Not everything's perfect, it's never gonna be. But if you want to lead this country, you should feel grateful for it. You should feel a sense of gratitude. And I never hear that gratitude come through when I listen to Kamala Harris.
Middleton made its industrial mark before America's steel industry fled overseas.
You cannot for 3.5 years take a guy who clearly didn't have the mental capacity to do the job. Kamala Harris lied about it. My Senate Democratic colleagues lied about it. The media lied about it. Every single person who saw Joe Biden knew that he wasn't capable of doing the job. And for 3 years, they said nothing until he became political dead weight.
If Biden is suddenly unfit to run, is Kamala acting as the president, vice president, presidential candidate, and/or VP candidate?
I was told I was going to get to debate Kamala Harris, and now President Trump's going to get to debate her?
VP nominee JD's first solo address in his hometown of Middleton, Ohio came from the heart as he detailed his family's struggles and successes in a forgotten America. For News 25 Las Vegas, I'm Maria Centers.
And local eatery Blaze Pizza is fined by the Department of Labor for reportedly violating child labor laws.
A Las Vegas pizza chain operator is accused of employing dozens of children illegally, according to federal officials. Investigators found that Bry's Guys Incorporated, which operates 10 Blaze fast-fire pizza locations in Las Vegas and Henderson, employed 23 children ages 15 to 17 to operate industrial pizza dough mixers, the U.S. Labor Department said in a news release on Monday, July 22nd. 5 15-year-olds also worked more than 3 hours on school days as late as 10:30 p.m., which is a violation of the Fair Labor Standards Act. Federal law only allows 14 and 15-year-olds to work up to 3 hours on school days and prohibits employment after 7 p.m. Jean Ramos, the district director of Wage and Hour Division, said in a statement that learning new skills in the workforce is an important part of growing up, and we must protect children and ensure their first jobs are safe and do not interfere with their education or well-being. The Fair Labor Standards Act allows these important work experiences, but ensures that when children work, they are employed in a manner that promotes their health, safety, and educational opportunities. The Labor Department says that Bry's Guys Incorporated was fined more than $277,000 in civil penalties for these violations. Based in California, Blaze Pizza has more than 340 franchise locations in 38 different states.
And these summer days continue to heat up, and it's dangerous out there. We'll tell you about a rescue from the desert after this break.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, in the midst of this ongoing excessive heat warning, bystanders help rescue a woman suffering from heat exhaustion and illness in Death Valley National Park.
A man and a woman started hiking the Badlands Loop at 9:30 a.m. in temperatures around 110 degrees Fahrenheit. The man later told park rangers that their hike was prolonged by getting lost. At some point, the woman was unable to continue walking, and the man returned to Zabriskie Point parking lot to get help. There is no cell phone service in that area. A bystander drove 5 miles to report the medical emergency at Furnace Creek Visitor Center at around 11 a.m. Air temperature was around 115 degrees at this point. When park rangers arrived a few minutes later, bystanders were carrying the unconscious woman toward the parking lot. Park rangers cooled the woman in the NPS ambulance and started driving towards the hospital. Helicopter blades produce less lift and hot air, and some helicopters cannot fly in temperatures above 115 degrees. Park rangers transported the woman to a landing zone at 3,000 feet where it was cool enough for the ambulance helicopter to land safely. Mercy Air transported the woman to Centennial Hills Hospital in Las Vegas. Park rangers have the following advice for visiting Death Valley National Park in the summer. Avoid the heat, stay in air conditioning, or not more than a 10-minute walk away from it. Do not hike at low elevations after 10 a.m. Travel only on paved roads. If your vehicle breaks down, stay with your vehicle so you have shelter and can be found more easily. Know your limits and acclimatize to heat. Avoid the sun.
And back in Las Vegas, a man is arrested for reportedly attacking and stabbing a man to death at an area business.
On July 16th at approximately 5:31 p.m., Las Vegas Metro Communications received a report of a stabbing at the 900 block of North Rancho Drive. Officers arrived and located a male suffering from an apparent stab wound inside of a business. Medical personnel responded and transported the victim to UMC Hospital, where he was later pronounced deceased. While officers were attending to the victim of the stabbing, Communications received a call of a 33-year-old Billy Bell Jr. stating that he had been shot while at a nearby business. Officers responding to Bell's location noticed that he matched the suspect's description and took Bell into custody. The investigation by the Las Vegas Metro Homicide Section indicated that Bell had been loitering outside of the business in the area. The victim and a friend arrived at the business, and an altercation occurred between Bell and the friend. During the altercation, the friend produced a firearm and fired a round at Bell. Bell allegedly fled the scene and later observed the victim and the friend outside of the business. Bell then charged at the victim and stabbed him multiple times before returning to his residence. This is an ongoing investigation, though Bell was arrested and booked into the Clark County Detention Center for open murder with a deadly weapon. The identification of the deceased as well as the cause and manner of death will be released by the Clark County Coroner's Office.
All across southern Nevada, drivers are typically on the lookout for cruisers, but not necessarily for this reason. Nevada State Police are on the lookout for best-looking cruiser in an ongoing contest.
The Nevada State Police is participating in the 11th Annual American Association of State Troopers Best Looking Cruiser Contest. The photo NSP submitted was taken in downtown Las Vegas at Circa Resort and Casino. The photo features a 1990 Ford Mustang next to a 2024 Ford Mustang, showcasing the evolution of the fleet. The contest also coincides with the 75th anniversary of the Nevada State Police. The backdrop includes the words, "Make history, leave a legacy." The NSP invites the public to vote for them in the AAST contest. For more information on how to vote, visit www.statetroopers.org. The top 13 states with the most votes will be featured in the 2025 wall calendar, and the top cruiser will be on the cover.
All right, don't grab that remote. Much more local, national, and international news, such as our state champions in karate. More on that after the break.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back. Well, it's like there are local heroes straight out of Cobra Kai or the karate dojos that we see all the time on movies. 4 girls from Hero Karate in Summerlin are representing the U.S. in the Junior Pan American Championships in Brazil next month. Here's Mikey Ruhan with more in sports.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. The Las Vegas Aviators are in Reno this evening for the
Battle of Nevada.
First pitch, 6:35. The Las Vegas Raiders training camp in Southern California is underway. Rookies reported to the Jack Hammett Sports Complex in Costa Mesa on Sunday, and veterans are scheduled to arrive today. LeBron James will be one of 2 American athletes to carry the U.S. flag during the opening ceremony of this summer's Olympic Games in Paris. The U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee announced on Monday 4 girls with Hero Karate in Summerlin will represent the U.S. at the Junior Pan American Championships in Brazil on August 28th. Skyla Harling, Presley Allen, Angelia, and Kalina Adrievski will all represent the U.S. And the Pahrump Valley Trojan football team is holding their annual spaghetti dinner and cake auction fundraiser Saturday, August 3rd. Get your ticket from your favorite football player for $5, or you may pay at the door. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
Thanks, Mikey, and we're so proud of those young ladies for being our local karate champs. Well, in more local news, imagine the intricate electrical grid powering our community. Behind every light, every device lies a crucial component: transformers. That's why Valley Electric Association is here to illuminate their role in our everyday life.
This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Valley Electric and its family of companies focused on serving our members. We're better together.
Let's talk about transformers. Not the machines that transform from cars to combat robots you see in the movies, but the kind you see at the top of utility poles or on the ground in your neighborhood. Transformers are used to step electric voltage up or down before it makes its way to its final destination. Why does this need to happen? Original power distribution voltage can range from 7,200 to 24,900 volts, depending on your electric utility provider's practice, the distance to the furthest member, and the amount of load served. That's much too high a voltage for safe home or business use. Transmission lines connect the power to substations brimming with transformers and control equipment. This is the first place where they transform the voltage to safer, more manageable levels for the distribution system. The voltage then travels through distribution lines, takes 1 or 2 more steps down, and arrives at your home. Power feeds into your home's electrical outlets and lights at 120 volts, while water heaters, ranges, and HVAC systems receive 240 volts, both considerably lower than the original voltage. Here's a quick look at how transformers actually work for a typical American home. Transformers start with an iron core. On 2 sides of this iron core, wire is coiled. On the high voltage side, the coil is wrapped around the core many times. This side receives or produces high voltage. On the other side, the coil is wrapped around fewer times, receiving or producing lower voltage. As the electricity flows through the high voltage coil, it creates a magnetic field that induces a lower voltage in the other coil. That's how the magic of transformation takes place. Transformers are everywhere in our daily lives, not just on your utility provider's lines. Take your cell phone charger, for example. Many of these small cousins of utility transformers perform a similar function. Charging your cell phone with 120 volts will fry it instantly, so the charger converts the voltage to a more tolerable 5 volts or so. The use of electricity touches nearly every aspect of our modern lives, and we have transformers to thank for bringing it safely into our homes.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Let's take a look at our beautiful Lerner and Rowe weather cam of this gorgeous sunset. We just had to share it with you. Of course, there's cloud cover. There may be scattered clouds in the area. Your chance at the rain in our forecast after the break.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. I'm Mike Ruhan from the Channel 25 Weather Studios, streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. Let's check out this weather map. Fernley saw 99 degrees today, Fallon 103, Carson City 98 like a boy band, 94 in Tonopah and Goldfield, twinning. Beatty saw 104, 110 out in Amargosa, Las Vegas 104. Out in Death Valley, still pretty warm, 121, but here in the paradise of Pahrump, our current temperature is 105. We hit 107 just a little bit earlier. Wind out of the south, 10 miles per hour. Humidity, 16%. The sun rose this morning at 5:44. It'll set this evening. Look for it to go away at 7:56. We're going to go to a low of 84 degrees with winds out of the east-southeast, 10 miles per hour. Humidity, 28%. As we go to partly cloudy skies, let's check out the 7-day forecast. We got 108 tomorrow and on Thursday, 105 on Friday. Let's check out the weekend. It looks like we're cooling off a little bit. Those seem normal temperatures, don't they? 102 and 100. Thank you. Let's bring it on. Back to the desk. Here's Unette.
Thanks so much, Mikey. And you're so right. That 100 coming up this weekend looks really nice. It seems like we're taking a dip down into the 100s where other temps dare not go. Well, still stay hydrated out there and try to stay cool. Well, that does it for this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry, and from all of us here at KPVM and Ace Country Radio, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the air next newscast. Good night.